Hello, friends. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have a guest here today.
I guessed. What do I want me to say?
Who are you?
Who
Who's,
are you?
who's this
Who
man?
are you?
You guys have wait a second. Who are you? You guys have never seen him before. No, I'm just kidding. This is my boyfriend Damon.
Peace.
Peace. And I got some fancy, actually, they're not fancy at all, but I got some little microphones to hopefully help. We're testing them out today in this vlog because my hope is that you guys will be able to hear me better when I do my flight attendant vlogs and I am traveling through the airport or if I'm on the plane because it gets so super loud. So we're kind of going to test out with these little microphones. So that's why we're just like holding them
Like you
here.
just want.
Yeah. So I just wanted to address some questions that you guys had on a previous vlog. So we are here in Austin, Texas. We've been here for about 3 weeks now.
3 weeks now.
3 weeks now, which is crazy. I feel like time is going by really fast, but we wanted to give an update about how things are going. And I wanted to address the question that so many people had in the comments, and that is why we got two different apartments. Damon and I each got a one-bedroom apartment. We are actually upstairs in his apartment currently. It just has better natural lighting than my apartment, and I am directly below him in the apartment unit downstairs. And so we wanted to talk about why we chose to do that and how that's been going. So, Damon, do you want to explain the conversations that we've had, or maybe you can explain like your point of view of why we decided to have separate apartments? What's one of the reasons? There's a few, but
There's a few reasons, but one of the reasons is, well, let's start off with the biblical reason. We are both Christians and we love God, and we are not perfect, just like every single human. But we are trying to do our best at attacking this relationship in the right way, and that is by what the Bible says and the principle of if we are not, jeez, if we are not ready to be married, then we are not ready to be living together.
yeah.
It's as simple as that. I've had conversations with my friends, a couple of my guy friends, and they've asked the same question, and they're like, "That's so silly." Like they kind of like laugh it off, not disrespectfully, but just like not understanding why.
It's so more expensive to do it that way. You would
Yeah,
be saving so much money to just have a one or two
which
bedroom
is
and
all true, and
share.
which is conversations that we've had together like a couple
Mhm.
times going through this. We're like, well, it would be a lot cheaper, like literally half the price of what we're paying each for a one bedroom is what we would be paying to live together, and kind of make it easier on both of ourselves, not have to buy two beds and two couches and two TVs or whatever. Well, I don't even have a TV, but
He's getting one. We're getting there
eventually,
slowly.
eventually. Um, but yeah, like if you're not ready to if I'm not ready to put a ring on her finger and call her my wife, then I'm not ready to have her in my house and act as if she's my wife and
Yeah.
do everything like we're a married couple, because we're not there yet.
You
So
can't give him wife privileges if you don't have the ring, ladies.
exactly,
That's a principle to live by.
exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons.
Yeah, another one of the reasons too. So that's like if you're not a Christian, that might be really hard to understand or wrap your brain around, but that is a huge reason of why we made this choice. But even from a practical standpoint, for those of you who don't know, Damon is 4 years younger than me, and
She's old.
I am. I'm old. I'm a cougar. Is that what they call me? Cougar. um, and I have lived on my own. I've lived in my own apartments for a few years now. I've had my own one bed, one bath. And Damon has lived at home on island. He lived in a college dorm where he had his own room, but he lived with how many guys in a
Like
house?
17,
Yeah.
and then I lived in California, but it wasn't on my own, and it was for like 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
So I never got to have a place to call my own, to walk into my own space. And for the last year and a half, almost 2 years, I've been living on a couch with no space at all
Not no
to call my own.
bedroom,
Yeah,
just has all his clothes underneath the couch and sleeps
yeah.
on a couch with his
So
family, huh?
yeah,
So
and we have had conversations where we're like, the scary thought to think like if we did this and then I would resent her, or for some reason, yeah, we resent each other because we didn't take this step, and make sure that we're taking our time with this and not rushing into anything.
yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Damon burps a lot. That's one thing that I've learned in this relationship, and he's turned me into a
Good thing we
burper.
got these mics.
I think it didn't feel right. Like, yes, we're so excited to do life together, and this was a huge step for us. Like, we've been long distance since we've been dating, and so even just getting to do life in the same city, and we share a vehicle right now that Damon bought and has graciously been sharing with me. And he picks me up and drops me off at the airport because he's the best. And it's been really cool when I'm home, like I've been off the last few days and he has work, I will take him to work in the morning at 7:30 and then go back and pick him up in the evening so that I can have the car, and that's been really nice too. So we're still kind of getting in a flow of things, but long story short, like, yeah, I just wanted him to be able to experience like his own space and come home after work and be able to have whatever food he wants in the fridge and, shower when he wants, take a nap when he wants to sleep, like just have his own routines. Like it really does make a difference. And I think that it grows you so much as a person. And this is no shade if you, I know a lot of friends like who were high school sweethearts and they got married and they've been living, they moved out of their parents' house and into a house with each other and they're very successful, and that's absolutely fine, to each their own. But just for our journey, I know how much of a creative Damon is too. And so just having a space like where we don't have to argue about what color bedspread we're going to get or the paintings on the wall, like he got to decorate his space how he wants, I can decorate mine. And like we do have very different styles. I will show an updated clip of what my apartment looks like and what his looks like so far. We're still slowly building things, but he turned his bedroom into an office and his bed is out in the living room like space, so it's more of a studio where I use my bedroom. I don't really need an office space like he does. And he likes to play music and to paint. And so he wants all of those things out and about, his guitar, and he wants to have canvases out. And just having the freedom to come home or on his days off get to do those things and not feel like he has to tiptoe around me or my schedule, I think is super important, at least for a season. Like it's
Mhm.
not forever, but I just wanted him to have the freedom to experience that, I guess. Yeah, just like freedom in that. And it's been super fun so far, right? Like what has been like the biggest highlight of our 3 weeks here so far as us like living in the same complex? Like what has been a pro for you? And if you have a con, you can share that as well.
Well, since we've been here, I mean, we've only been here for 3 weeks. For the first week, we came here and spent all of our money, literally buying all of the things that we need: bed and couch and this little things, silverware, plates, and the things that you don't really think about. So that was actually honestly a really fun week. It hurt my pockets, but it was fun to be able to do that for the first time. It was kind of like back to school shopping. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, you get excited for that, and you go spend all your parents' money, but you get to get things for yourself and things that you don't usually think about buying until you move into your first place. So that was a really big highlight. And then this last week, going to work so much and coming back, and like we had time to wake up, have breakfast together, and then I'll be gone from 7:30 to a couple of days was like 8 p.m. at night, 7 p.m. at night, and then come back home, eat dinner, stretch, and then get ready for bed, and do it again the next day. And that was really different, but it was honestly kind of fun just to be able to see how
Mhm.
we operate in that way, and um, just make the most out of the time that we do get together because of work.
Yeah, that's really good. You've never had like a consistent kind of 9 to 5 type job,
Yeah,
right?
the jobs that I did back home were very I because I'm a creative, I feel like a lot of creatives can um,
Testing.
attest to this. Yeah, that you don't like having somebody above you telling you what to do because you want something of your own. So I purposely picked jobs that I didn't need a boss there, and if I did have a boss there, I wouldn't be there 7 days out of the week. I'd be there 2 days out of the week, um, and I would just do many jobs, so I wouldn't have so I'd have time to do the things that I want to do: edit, draw, go lift and work out, and make those things a priority instead of work a priority. So this is a big switch in my life, but we need the money right now, and that's fine. And I know
Mhm.
that it's just going to be a different season of grinding, and that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah. So I hope that sums up. That was kind of the big question. Like I saw so many comments. I was like, okay, babe, we need to do a video and address this because so many people are curious about this. And I think it's a great topic because you don't hear a lot of people our age doing that. Like it sounds silly from the outside. And there were some comments who were like, what are you guys doing? That sounds so dumb. Like, and so we wanted to kind of explain like where we're coming from on it. And also like our lease is 9 months. Like it's not in the grand scheme of life, if we are going to spend forever together, like 9 months is nothing. And if we decide to extend it to a year or a year and a half, like that's okay. Like we spend a lot of time together. Like we will be moving forward, if we do get married. And
And it's not like we live towns apart from each
right.
other. She's downstairs. Like we,
Yeah.
she's literally
We eat
downstairs.
meals together, like on
Yeah.
my like It's cool because when I'm gone flying, like my first week that we moved here, I was gone for 5 days and I was like, wow, I really miss him. And I was so excited to come home and for him to pick me up from the airport. And then I've been home for the last few days. I got sick, so I had to call off a work trip. And so I've been home. I was recovering, but he was working. And then the last 2 days, we've both just like been off and we got to go for runs in the morning. We got to go to the gym together. We'll go to the grocery store and cook our meals and sit together and eat meals
Started
together.
Harry Potter. We're watching
Yeah.
Prison Break right now.
Yeah, like just get to do things that we're used to doing over FaceTime together. And so it's a good balance of like we're still living our own lives. Like when I go, I love my job and I'm gone for a few days. Like I start a trip tomorrow morning. And so I'll be gone for the next 3, 4 days and he'll just be going back to work as well. And like he's just here by himself doing his own thing. And we do have to go back to FaceTime, but it makes our time together so much more special. And like we're getting to experience things for the first time together that we didn't really get to before, as far as like, yeah, like cooking together and sitting down and enjoying meals and going to the gym consistently together. So there's a lot of pros to it. And yeah, I think I was telling my sister about it when we first decided that we were going to be upstairs downstairs neighbors. Like we got to kind of figure out like there's a unit right across from him, literally like next door upstairs. But I just knew that with all of my like wearing my heels and all of my bags, there's no elevators here. It's just super steep stairs. And so I'm like, I'm not going to want to be going up and downstairs with my luggage. So I decided to go on the first floor. And it kind of feels like we have a two-story house sometimes. Like we literally just go back and forth on our days off of like, oh, we'll eat lunch down here and then we'll come up here and have dinner. Or, like we spend time like, oh, like his bed is comfier than mine. So I'll sleep up here. And I'm like, yeah, your bed makes my back feel better than mine does. And so it just kind of depends. Like we're still spending a significant amount of time together, but it is nice to like at the end of the day know that we each have our own space. There's a certain peace and freedom in that, I would say.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you're looking forward to in the next month or so, as far as just like being in Austin, like things to experience, or yeah, something you're excited to try or look into that we haven't had a chance yet because we're still so new here?
Probably going out and adventuring. We have this entire city. Like we've gotten to see the main things, like some restaurants and some big parks, but
The running
the running
trails, yeah.
trails have been really fun to explore, and I'm excited to see more of those. But like going out and seeing nature, like we're in an entire state that we've never been in before, and we've only been in this city. So I don't know if that's next week or a couple months from now, but like just being able to go and see like different kinds of bodies of waters and hikes and maybe even camping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right now we have a Honda CRV, and I was really wanting to get a truck when we got here. But honestly, this thing has been a blessing in disguise because I feel like we can still make it out to places that we can camp and like pop the hood and sit in the back and do a little thing, but like
Do a little thing, you
do a
said.
little, do a little thing. But yeah, it's just I'm excited to get out and see more of Texas together. We've
Yeah.
always been adventurers, so I'm
Yeah.
excited to adventure.
Yeah, and having a car like my car is still in Seattle, which I think I told you guys in a last vlog or two, but I have a Honda Civic coupe, and so it's a two-door, like tiny, tiny little thing, and I always wanted to explore whenever he'd come visit me in Seattle, but you can only do so much in something like that, I feel like. But yeah, like having something with a big trunk where you can just like pop, go pull up to the lake, or I don't know. I did look up the beach. Like there's a really cool beach here. I'll have to look up the name of it and I'll post it on the video. But it's like 3.5 hours away,
Yeah.
and it looks like crystal clear water. So I'm like, whenever you miss home, like we can go there. I think something else that I'm looking forward to is getting your passport. Getting your passport.
Yeah, I need to do that still.
I've been begging him to get his passport, but I mean, he's been paying for a lot of other things. So
And we've been a little busy moving here. So.
yeah, yeah. But I think that's like the beauty. It's just something that I'm really looking forward to as well is getting to like bring him on work trips. Like I don't know if you guys knew that, but flight attendants, pilots, sometimes they'll bring their significant other, their husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, on layovers with them. If they have a long layover, typically my layovers aren't that long, so it hasn't been beneficial for him to kind of come to work with me. But I'm really hoping that in the coming months or by next year, maybe having longer layovers and getting to take him with me as well. And yeah, just being able to be in the same place to use our flight benefits, because before, whenever I had a week off in a month, like I would go to Maui to see him, or he would fly to Seattle to come visit me, and we would just spend our time that was it. It took up all of our time just traveling to each other. So now that we're home together, like in the same place, we can now use our free time in the near future to go explore new cities and states and countries eventually. But
Yeah.
even just exploring like states in the US that we haven't been to, because there's a lot that we haven't seen, like that'll be really cool to have the freedom to do that as well. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to give an overview and just an update of how Austin is going for us. So like I said, we've been going on lots of runs of beautiful trails, and we're still looking at finding a gym. We've tried a few gyms, and we have one in mind that we really want to go to, but we're just kind of waiting for the membership, Lift ATX.
Okay, so you tell 24 hours.
Yeah,
You really want to
Damon's stoked to go to 24-hour. No, yeah, so just like things that we're slowly building upon, and we've tried a new church that we went to and really enjoyed, but we haven't been able to go back. I did, for this whole month, I am back on reserve, and so I did ask for Sundays and Mondays off, and they did honor that. So I will be home every single weekend. Damon doesn't have as much control over his schedule, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to go with me for the next week or two. But I'm definitely going to be going to church, and I want to be able to build community and make friends here. I was telling him that's something that I really want to work on, is just like getting plugged in this city, like especially in my job. Like I don't want to feel so isolated where I don't have any friends here. He's meeting new guys at work all the time in his job, which is super cool, and like getting recommendations of restaurants to go to and things to do and live music venues, which is so cool. And I want to be able to kind of build a little bit of that as well. So that's something that we're looking forward to working on, is just like getting to have other couples over for dinner or game nights, or go to a run club or a cooking class, or just like, try different things. Like we've never got to do that together. And so really, really excited to build community together and individually as well. So that's where I'm going to wrap up. Do you have any closing thoughts? Like anything else that you want to share that you're excited about? Anything on your mind about this
Consider
season?
yourself updated.
Yeah, that's it.
That's about it.
Okay. I'm going to leave it here. I will be starting another vlog tomorrow when I head back to work. I have a 3-day trip, so it'll be my second time commuting. And so Damon's going to drop me off at 4:30 in the morning. And I don't have work until 1 p.m., but because I'm on reserve, I have to be at the airport by 10 a.m. anyway. So I will be sitting in the airport, probably hanging out with you guys, chatting with you tomorrow morning for quite some time, and maybe trying to take a nap before work. But that's all I've got. Stay tuned for the next vlog. Have a good rest of your day. Bye, friends.
Booyaka!
Bye, friends.
Booyaka!
Stop it.